What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Trendsetter Outdoors. I'm out here with my buddy Matthias. We're out here fishing the Okie series college tournament. So just Oklahoma schools, but I think only OU, OSU, maybe other couple schools showed up. But we're out here at Lake Tenkiller. It's cold, it's a winter day, but here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna be throwing a jerkbait and Alabama rig all day. We're gonna try to find these smallmouth, find these bluffs. But either way, just stay along for the ride. Hopefully we catch some fish and make a check. Stay tuned, we'll put the chesty on. Stay tuned for the video. Alright, so you know I'm in a different place now. Truth is, that tournament was just rough. Not a lot of fish catches. Out of 4 out of the 14 boats weighed fish. The biggest sack was 4 fish for about 10 pounds, and obviously the biggest bass was in that one. So really it was just a rough weekend of fishing. But I mean, I only caught one weigher. Well, not one weigher. So what we had length slots. So we had we could keep fish 10 to 13 inches and anything over 16 inches. So that bumps our averages up, our average size fish up. And that's usually on a lake to lake kind of basis for people that can keep fish, or people, the Department of Wildlife doesn't want people keeping a certain length of fish to help the population of fish. So the keepers that we could keep were 10 to 13 inches and anything above 16 inches. So those are the fish that we could weigh in. And so I only caught one fish, which was this fish right here. Oh, there he is. Oh, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. Think I can boat flip him. All right, get the net. Yeah, get the net. Yeah, all right. Bring it in. There we go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Not bad either.
Not bad.
Good. Now that we know they're here. That's happy.
And that was only because I couldn't weigh him in because it was about 15 7/8 of an inch. It was just that close, but it was about 2-pounder, and yeah, it was just a really chunky fish on a Carolina rig. But I'll talk to you about how I caught that fish. So we're fishing on Lake Tenkiller in eastern Oklahoma. It's a really clear water lake, especially on the main body. And so we tried fishing jerkbaits, Alabama rigs, jigs, caught along the clear cuts and sharp channel swings in the lake because we thought that's where those fish should be set up. But when you're on the graph, it looks like it was just stuff suspended under schools of shad that are in 50 foot of water. So did try drop shotting for those. If they were actually bass, they might have been sand bass or white bass or something. Well, sand bass or hybrid stripers, anything a lot like that. But we decided to make our way all the way up to the neck of the river where the Illinois River flows into Lake Tenkiller, and that's where it's shallower, kind of dirtier water. It's not as clear, it's not really blue, it's more like a stained green up there. But the water temperature was about 48 degrees up there as opposed to 42 down on the lake where we let out down the south part of the lake. And so what we did, we made our way up the channel where there was some current, but there wasn't a lot of wind. We weren't just fighting it all the way up there. But what we did is kind of heard from our friends that are catching them on biffle bugs and kind of slower presentations up there. So all I did was I threw on a Carolina rig, something I already had tied on. It's one of my favorite things to winter fish for. You know, it's easy, it's finesse, the fish don't feel the weight on the edge of it. So I'll go over my Carolina rig, but I was sitting in about 15 foot of water, 15 to 12 feet of water, and casting up towards the bank because the drop-off's pretty steep from where we were. So it just kind of cuts off like this. So you can see that from the video. That's how we were fishing from cast to catch on there. And that fish hit it. He slammed it. It wasn't just a typical winter bite where they just kind of lift up, kind of have it in the mouth and just kind of run off with it. He slammed it. So I knew for a fact that it was a fish on there. Didn't know how big he was. But I'll go over my Carolina rig setup. So my Carolina rig setup, it's a Castaway Tyrannus series, 7'6", extra heavy. It's technically their flipping stick. So I have this on a Carolina rig, have a Shimano Sitica with 65-pound braid to 20-pound fluorocarbon leader on it, and it's a 7:2-to-1 gear ratio. I have about a 2-foot Carolina rig leader on here, which was kind of longer than what I was using on there, but I had to retie since I lost my Carolina rig out there. But the bait I caught that fish on, it's a Reaction Innovations Man Bear Pig in the Dirty Sanchez color. So that's the gear I was using for this. And I was using a 1/2 ounce Woo tungsten weight with a little bead on there and a swivel. And usually for my leader line for the Carolina rigs, like using 12-pound fluorocarbon. It's done me a lot of good. It's a pretty good weight for that. But that's kind of what we found for the tournament, is that it was just hard. It was kind of anything goes for fishing that day. The other teams threw Alabama rigs all day. The other guys caught them on jigs. So they said about 15 to 12 feet of water was what they were fishing. We just didn't pattern them out. You know, the day of practice, we only got about a half day of fishing. We couldn't pattern them out at all. Super windy, hard to fish out there, but the day after it was really cold and the water temp dropped where we were fishing, so I think those fish just moved out deep. So that's kind of my rundown for how this tournament went. Have another tournament coming up for the OU Open. That's going to be on Lake Tenkiller. I'm probably going to fish that one. I was going to try to be a marshal for it at FLW, but I don't think my schedule will allow me to take off that much time from school so I can do that. But I think the next week later in the month, I'm going to fish the FLW on Lake Tenkiller. So I think that's going to be my first and only college FLW tournament I've been able to do, just because I've got into the bass fishing club super late and into competitive bass fishing kind of late. I've only started really not professionally, started getting more adamant about bass fishing only about 3 years ago, even though I've been fishing my whole life. I only really started getting serious about wanting to find fish, do tournaments, only a couple years ago, so kind of late in the game. But I want to get at least one FLW college tournament underneath my belt. I grew up on Texome. I've been going to that lake a long time. I feel like if I go there, I'll know I might have a decent chance to get some money, but who knows? It's anybody's game down there. It's beginning April, so definitely up here in Oklahoma, it's going to be pre-spawn or spawning, depending on where they are. If there's no big rains and the water in the lake's not flooded. But anywho, thank you for watching the video. If you like these tournament recaps, I'll try to do a lot more for all the tournaments and fishing stuff I go to. Or even if I just go out fishing, maybe I'll come back and just say, hey, what was my pattern? Try to help people out there and try to put a pattern together. I'll run down all my gear. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to be posting more stuff throughout the year, more videos than I did last year. And working, I'm trying to get a job, so that's going to be a really cool process to see where I end up in the future. I'm about to graduate from OU with my master's, and just stick along for the ride. I actually have some big stuff coming up. I'm going to be posting a video about that, so hopefully you'll be able to help me out as well. And so thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, join the trend, spread the passion for the outdoors. We'll see you in the next one.